making a fun name for it. You know, the girls will love that. Whatever the name is to them, you say, okay, we're gonna do dailies. They know what dailies are. So just creating a fun name for them is always good. So what we do at the high school, so I always mix them up into infields going with one coach, outfields going with one coach. So I'm gonna go over what we do with the infield first, and then I'll progress to the outfield. So we're gonna kind of go into a progression with my glove work. So first I'm gonna start on my knees.
You wanna do this?
Yeah, let's go this way. So I'm gonna start on my knees. I'm not gonna use my hand, okay? I'm just working on, in the middle, I'm working forehand and backhand. So a lot of times what I see girls do, even at the high school level, they're pulling the glove in here, right? We don't wanna work on pulling the glove in here. We wanna work on working through the ball. So I'll say that all the time, work through it, don't stab at it, work through the ball. So I'm gonna have you go.
That's a big difference between baseball and softball. When I watch professional baseball players and college softball, is that baseball, they have a little bit more time to be able to receive the ball, gather it, shuffle, throw.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Softball is a little bit quicker, so we have to be able to keep our momentum coming through the ball always and try to minimize those steps.
Yeah. So we're gonna start in the middle first, get it warmed up to a couple there. As I'm working through it, I'm gonna toss it back. And one thing too, I'm working through it and then I'm turning my glove, right? I'm turning my glove here because that's where the transfer is gonna come in later. One more here. Then we're gonna go to forehand.
She extends through it, she stays bent, it has a little bit of flexion in the elbow and extends through.
And we'll go backhand.
Eyes are getting low with the ball.
Sorry. It's okay. Yeah, so what I meant by stab at it is we'll see this lock. We'll see that, right? We want to stop it, right? So what I would say is work through it. That essentially would be soft hands in that sense, right? Working through it with that glove. So then I'll probably have them do, maybe 8 each. And then I'm going to go up to a stationary position. So I'm still not going to use my legs, but I am going to bring in my hand for that transfer, okay? So right now I'm just working on getting that transfer and getting that other hand in here. Turning my glove, getting set, forehand. One more. Okay, and then we're gonna go backhand. So with backhand, I'm not gonna stand like this, obviously, right? I'm gonna turn to this position, but I'm not gonna use my legs just yet.
What's nice about this too, when you're teaching your younger athletes, you can get the glove off and use a tennis ball too. And when you have the glove off, even when you use this with your older athletes, it forces them to get even lower. And so we want them to stay low and get their eyes as close behind the ball. Now, when you use the tennis ball, you can teach the girls to come and push through the ball with your palm instead of catching it. And so they can kind of see, are they stabbing at it? If they're stabbing at it, that ball's not going to get out in front. If you push, then that ball's going to go back to your feeder.
Yeah. So then I'm going to use my glove work, my hand for the transfer, then I'm going to use my feet. So I'm ready position, I'm moving.
This is where she can use that footwork that we talked about with transfers.
So a big thing too, right, is what foot am I stepping with? My left foot here. Working through it, got my hand in there. We'll go forehand. And with the younger ones, sometimes what you can do is just kind of have them shuffle. Just have them shuffle, just work on moving to the ball with tennis balls, with a real ball. Each one's good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're good. Gotta be ready for everything. Backhand here, I'm working through it. Got my hand in there for the transfer. Do we have any questions on that? Anything at all? Okay, I'm ready. So those are our dailies. So like I said, create a name for that, that's fun. So while the infield's doing that, our outfield girls, they're gonna go into their dailies. So let's see here. I'm gonna have, okay, Coach Danny, she's gonna be the coach. So I'm gonna stand out there. So a good thing to start off with the outfielders is drop step, okay? So who knows what a drop step is? Yeah, Jack, what is it?
To your left, drop on your left foot. To your right, drop on your right foot.
Right. A lot of times what I see, I call it the dancing bear. The dancing bear. Going back this way, we got hands, we're going, please, please catch the ball, right? You'll see that a lot. So really what's good with the little ones is, I'm just gonna have Coach Danny, you can have a line of girls here. I'm gonna stand here. She's just gonna pick a direction. I'm gonna run up. No ball or anything. We'll go to that. So a key thing too, I'm pumping with my glove. I'm not having my glove out here. You'll see that. When the glove's out there, my head's moving, right? On to the right. Eyes on the ball. Then you can progress once you've gone left to right. She's gonna switch it up a little bit. And that can be with no ball. So that's just good to, start them off and get their hips warmed up. Okay? Can you do that on that?
Yeah. As far as structure goes, and I'm reflecting on this last week because it was our first week of tryouts, and we're trying to get 30 kids all on the same page. We have what's called a syllabus day, where we go over all of these drills, and the goal is to have the drills do the teaching. So when you are that solo coach with 12 kids, and you get to practice 3 or 4, and you say, girls, do your dailies, do your everydays, they know exactly what they need to be doing for those first 20 minutes of practice. They know they have to go for a lap, they have to go through their stretches, which they as a group can choose which ones they're gonna do, so that they're not thinking, okay, what do you wanna do next? It takes forever in a day.
Yeah.
So they have that plan. Then they go in, infielders are doing those with a partner, and outfielders can be doing those with a partner as well. You don't need a coach. You don't have to be doing that. What I like to do is to free myself up so that I can go around and work with everybody rather than being stuck with one group and then my back to the others. So the better job we do of teaching at the very beginning of the season, the easier it's going to be. So once we get those dailies and everydays out of the way, those first 20 minutes, I like to use the next 20 or so minutes of practice doing group education. So whether it's situations or base running or hitting, those are things that we need everybody to be together at. So yeah, that's kind of what these drills are.
Yeah.
Pick and choose what you want to add to your repertoire.
So you went over some fielding, and at this level we get a lot of kind of fumble balls. So ball hits their glove, it's an error, but the game's still going on. What is the best way to reinforce, now they got a fumble ball, they pick it up with their glove hand, their bare hand, what's their position to go chase down a slow rolling ball that they
bare hand, absolutely. It's bare hand, it's the quickest way. And I always say, finish the play. I don't care if you fumble it, you are hustling after that ball and you're getting it. Because you just missed it once, we're not gonna miss it twice. Go after the ball, and it's also backing up too, making sure that we have the players, if they fumble a ball, there's someone backing them up. But I always say, pick it up with your bare hand and finish the play. Finish the play.
And as far as coaching mid-game, girls have, and I don't know if it's the same with boys so much, but we'll often have a tendency to want to shut down if we're being called out and being told to do something in front of our peers, in front of our parents and our family. So encourage them to pick up, finish, you're doing fine, get the next one, and then use your time when you get that third out to pull them in the dugout and say, hey, you fumbled the ball, you did a great job of recovering, but let's work on working through that play next time. A lot of times if we fumble a ground ball, it means maybe we got stuck onto our heels and the ball bossed us around when we need to boss the ball around. So as far as that teaching time, use the teaching time in the dugout when you're one-on-one instead of in front of everybody else.
Yeah, focusing on what we did do, not what we didn't do, right? In the middle of the play. Way to finish that play is always good. So now we're gonna go into our outfield dailies of what I call them. I know, what do you call them, touchdown Tommies? Is that what it is? All right.
That's
So-
our name for it. So when the girls hear it, they associate.
They know exactly what they're doing. So typically you're gonna have a coach here, right? And you'll have a line of players, okay? So outfielders, so it wouldn't just be me, it'd be a line of them. So the first one we're gonna do, we're just gonna work on eye-hand coordination, okay? And again, with the little ones, you can do this with the tennis ball with no glove, okay?
Do you ever use wiffle balls for t-ball? You say tennis ball, would you ever recommend wiffle balls for these things?
Sure, absolutely. Especially, if they're, oh my gosh, there's, and I've done this drill with wiffle balls too, with the really little ones. Yeah.
Best to encourage the confidence.
Yeah.
Because if they just keep dropping the ball with a real ball, they don't want to be there anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So the first one, I'm just gonna cut straight to the left.
I'm pushing you.
She is. And I'll do about 2 each, but then I would switch partners, right? So 2 weeks, so we're gonna go to the left again, straight across. Ball, ball, ball. Right, so I'm hustling to get to that ball. I'm calling for it to the right. Ball, ball, ball. A big one I see is this. We're running after the ball like this, right? What does that do? It slows us down. So emphasizing on tucking it in. So the next one. So we'll have a line of girls back here, right? So now I'm gonna cut back and cut to the right, okay? Ball, ball, ball. Really working me out. Now I'm gonna cut to the left. Ball, ball, ball. And always on the receiving, make sure they're getting into that throwing position. So that's it. You have anything to add on that?
No, that's great. We do a little bit different of a touchdown, Tom, and we have the girls right here next to us. They have a ball. They toss it up. They jog out about 15, 20 yards. Then I'll say, cut! And they got to cut one direction and pick up the ball and chase after it. So,
And even with the older girls, it's fun with the tennis balls. They like it because they're like, ugh, can't catch it, right? It makes it fun. And it makes it light.
and with the ball side to side, we as coaches always tell them, catch with 2 hands, catch with 2 hands. But when you're running for a ball that's in a gap, we want them to reach with 1 hand. So when you have a tennis ball and you tell them, okay, just the glove hand, that really gets them comfortable to reach out and extend for it. Yep.
Reaching as late as possible on a ball in the gap. So do we have any questions on that?
So
On
I have a
dailies, anything? Yeah?
Well, just at this age, like 8-year-olds, they're still kind of catching this way,
Yes.
catching this way, you know, and I know the window, and I forget what this one was called, but how do you just get them to catch this way? You know,
Yeah.
they always want to turn it over.
Right. I remember when I was itty bitty when I first started. My dad took a wiffle ball and it was the rainbow drill. She goes, okay, we're at the bottom of the rainbow here. Catch. Okay, we're going up. Catch. Just doing this. Remember, or you call it, what did you call it? The steering wheel, whatever you want to call it. Just going like this, because I see that all the time. It's this. Then, right? So we got to get here. So doing this, just reinforcing this. Yeah.
And maybe
And then,
just tennis ball bare hand doing that?
yeah.
too? Okay.
Uh-huh. And then progress to obviously a glove, but until they're comfortable. Yeah. Any other questions?
I found the terminology that worked well for the little ones was thumbs together, was above your belly button, below your belly button was pinkies together. I mean, I could sit there and say, rotate your glove, and they
Yeah. Rotate.
And the only thing that I found in 6 years of doing 8 years and younger was above your belly button is your thumbs together, so you're ready for your transfer. Below your belly button, you got your pinkies together. It's pinkies together, thumbs together, right at the belly button. And that seemed to work for us, for the, little ones.
Sure.
I like the rainbow.
Yeah. Rainbow.
Yeah, they can connect with that.
Wave, say hi. Yeah, absolutely. Any other questions on infield or outfield dailies? Okay. So the next piece is I'm going to go into pitching. So I'm just going to kind of go over, a typical warm-up of what I would do for my girls. Is this good? Can they see me if I go